The resolute propagandist abdicates leadership. Rizal seeks justice for his family. While Rizal was in Madrid, he exhausted all available legal remedies to seek justice for his family and the farmers in Calamba. Asociación Hispano-Filipina, where he sought assistance. He made use of the liberal newspapers to ventilate the grievances of his family and the oppressed tenants in his hometown, where Rizal sought audience with the help of Marcelo H. del Pilar, who acted as his lawyer, and Dominador Gomez, secretary of the Asociación. Nothing came out with the interview. Ferdinand Blumentritt came to learn of Rizal's dilemma, prodded Rizal to bring the case to the Queen Regent Maria Cristina of Spain. Rizal considered Blumentritt's plan, but he had no financial logistics and influential friends in Madrid who had access to the Queen. Rizal sought the help of the Filipino colony, the Asociación Hispano-Filipina, and the liberal Spanish newspapers La Justicia, El Globo, La República, El Resumen, etc., in securing justice for the oppressed Calamba tenants, including his family, together with Marcelo H. del Pilar, who acted as his lawyer, and Dr. Dominador Gomez, secretary of the Asociación Hispano-Filipina. He called on the Minister of Colonies, Senor Fabi, in order to protest the injustices committed by Governor-General Valeriano Weyler in the Dominicans against the Calamba folks. But nothing came out of the interview with Minister Fabi. From his father-in-law Silvestre Ubaldo, Rizal received a copy of the ejectment order by the Dominicans against Francisco Rizal and the other Calamba tenants. Rizal learned of the deportation of Porciano Rizal, Antonio Lopez, Silvestre Ubaldo, Mateo Chong Elejorde, and Dandoy, Dr. Rizal's relative, to Mindoro. They were arrested and shipped out of Manila on September 6, 1890. In addition, their parents had been forcibly ejected from their home and were then living in the house of Narcisa, Antonio's house. Rizal sought the aid of the liberal Spanish statesmen who were former members of the ministry, including Becerra and Maura. Sadly, these statesmen merely gave him honeyed words of sympathy and nothing else. Blumentritt in Limerick urged Rizal to see Queen Regent Maria Cristina. He had neither powerful friends to bring him to the Queen's presence nor gold to grease the palms of influential courtiers. Death of Jose Maria Panginiban. Jose Maria Panginiban is his co-worker in propaganda movement and died in August 1890 because of an illness. A hero from Camarines Norte. When Rizal heard about his death, he wrote a eulogy for him. In the said eulogy, he praised Panginiban for his extraordinary talent, intelligence, and industry. In August 1890, after a lingering illness, Jose Maria Panginiban died in Barcelona. He was a friend and a talented co-worker of Rizal in the propaganda movement. Rizal wrote a great eulogy to him, describing on how great he was and how unfortunate our nation was that he died. August 1890, Feliciano Gomez Timbang, a friend and a countryman, died the same date as Jose Maria Panginiban. Aborted duel with Antonio Luna. In August of 1890, Rizal attended a social reunion of Filipinos in Madrid. Antonio Luna became intoxicated with alcohol. He was bitter because of his frustrated romance with Nelly Boasted. Deep in his heart, he blamed Rizal for his failure to win Nelly's heart. In a lot of occasions, Rizal expressed to Luna that he had nothing to do with it. Because of Luna's alcohol-befogged mind, he uttered nasty comments about Nelly and discussed Rizal's challenging Luna for a duel. End of August 1890, Rizal attended a social reunion of the Filipinos. Antonio Luna became drunk. Bitter of his frustrated romance with Nellie boasted. He blamed Rizal for his failure to win her. Later, he uttered certain unsavory remarks about Nellie. Rizal heard Luna and challenged him to a duel. Rizal was a better pistol shot than Luna, but the latter was his superior as a swordsman. Luna had choice of weapons. Other Filipinos tried to pacify them, pointing out to both that such a duel would damage their cause in Spain. Fortunately, Luna became sober, realized he made a fool of himself, and apologized for his bad remarks about the girl. Rizal accepted his apology, and they became good friends again. Rizal challenges Ritana to duel. Wenceslao y Ritana, Rizal's bitter enemy in writing, a press agent of the friars in the Philippines, published articles in the anti-Filipino newspaper La Epoca. In one of his articles, he wrote about the ejection of the Rizal family and relatives from the lands that they were tilling for their failure to pay their annual rent to the Dominican friars. Retana published a retraction and apologies in the newspapers. They became friends later because Retana developed a great admiration to Rizal. He even wrote the first book, length biography of Rizal. Wenceslao Iritana, bitter enemy of Rizal in pen, press agent of the friars in Spain, he attacked Filipinos, including Rizal, in various newspapers in Madrid. He imprudently wrote an article in La Epoca, an anti-Filipino newspaper in Madrid, asserting that the family and friends of Rizal had not paid their rent so that they were ejected from their lands in Calamba by the Dominicans. Rizal then challenged Ritana to a duel because of the article the latter wrote. Only Ritana's blood or his apology could vindicate the good name of Rizal's family and friends. Ritana believed that discretion is the better part of valor, and more to save his own skin, Ritana at once published a retraction and an apology in the newspapers. The incident silenced Ritana's pen, and he developed a great admiration for Rizal. Infidelity of Leonor Rivera. Teatro Apollo, where the expatriates and Rizal watched a play and also where he lost his gold watch chain with a locket containing the picture of Leonor Rivera. Rizal received a letter from Leonor Rivera in 1890 telling him that she will be married to Charles Henry Kipping, an Englishman, an engineer, and the man whom her mother chose to be her husband. One night, Rizal and his friends attended a play at Teatro Apollo, and there he lost his gold watch chain with a locket containing the picture of Leonor Rivera, his beloved sweetheart. The loss of the locket proved to be a bad omen. With the cold winds of winter sweeping across the shivering city, December 1890, Rizal received a letter from Leonor announcing her coming marriage with an Englishman, Henry Charles Kipping, the choice of her mother, and has asking his forgiveness. This letter was a great blow to him. He was stunned, his eyes dimmed with tears, and his heart broke. February 15, 1891, several agonizing weeks passed before he could confide to his best friend, Blumentritt. Blumentritt sent him a comforting letter. 3 months later, Blumentritt sent another comforting letter. Rizal del Pilar rivalry. There arose an unfortunate rivalry between Rizal and del Pilar's supremacy. Jose Rizal was the undisputed leader of the Filipino expatriates in Europe. However, his idealism is something that is unacceptable to his fellow reformers because instead of following him, they preferred to gamble, drink, flirt with women. Rizal tried to imbue his compatriots with his own idealism. He believed that to gain prestige for the propaganda movement and to win the respect of the Spanish people, they must possess high standards of morality, dignity, and spirit of sacrifice. Unfortunately, His idealism was not shared. Some of his supporters turned on the leadership of Del Pilar,